that gazing wind should blow. Down where the sun don't shine underneath the Kokomo. Whining boy got no place to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you either love them or you don't love them, but they are the Grateful Dead, and it was 50 years ago yesterday that they first performed, and I think the name was the Warlocks. It's all here, folks. Anything and everything you ever wanted to know about the Grateful Dead by David Browne, acclaimed Rolling Stone journalist. The book, So Many Roads, there it is on your TV screen. So Many Roads, The Life and Times of the Grateful Dead. David, welcome, sir.
Welcome, Steve. Thanks.
What, you know, Deadheads. Right. You know, people made a career following them around from city to city, and they call themselves Deadheads, or even just fans call themselves Deadheads. What? See, I never got it. I never got it. I think your book is fascinating, and it opened my eyes to so much and so many interesting facts about the Grateful Dead. Right. But what's the attraction?
What's the attraction? It's a lot of things. It is the music, first of all. This is one of the great American, possibly the great American rock and roll band. This is a band that put together, played not just rock and roll, but country and blues and R&B. You could hear in some of their side projects bluegrass. They improvised like they were a jazz band. For kids like me growing up with them, they were a conduit for all this kind of music. I didn't hear country music until Grateful Dead, and they opened my eyes to so many kinds of music. But as far as the fans, they created a sense of a community and a family. They were Facebook and Twitter before those existed. They had this direct connection with their fans, going back to the 70s with mailing lists. You get a newsletter in the mail every once in a while from them directly to you, saying, hey, here's what we're doing. Nobody was doing that back then. They created this bond with the audience in a very smart way, and it just built from there.
What was the message of the music? I mean, sure, there are a lot of messages, but you talk about the genres. What about the message of the music?
Boy, there were a lot of messages, and certainly one of them was live and let live, which I think was in a way the band's credo. Yeah. There was a certain, they had a tremendous lyricist named Robert Hunter who created these kind of very Americana stories. There were a lot of, you know, gamblers and rogues and sort of Old West kind of imagery in a lot of their lyrics. And there were a lot of songs they were, you know, almost psychedelic lyrically. They were kind of mind-expanding and they're very poetic. So there were a lot of different, you were getting hit by a lot of different things when you listen to the Dead.
The longevity, I mean, you know, we see it, we see the staying power of many of the British bands, you know, I mean, the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and the Who and right on down the line. Right. To what do you attribute the longevity? I mean, the people who became fans have stayed fans.
Right. The longevity for them has a lot to do with new generations discovering them. Similarly with the Beatles and so forth.
Is it a parent-children thing?
It is. It's at this point, it's probably a grandparent and grandchild thing, actually, because they had the original fans in the 60s, 70s. Then in the 80s, they finally had their first big hit with Touch of Grey. Right. And a whole new wave of fans came in. Now you have kids who are in their 20s who like this genre of music, the jam band, and they're going back in the history books and they're learning about, oh, there's this group called the Grateful Dead who started it all.
And they have access to all the music with today's technology, so it kind of is a natural.
You can go onto YouTube and see whole concerts.
Folks, the book, The Life, So Many Roads, The Life and Times of the Grateful Dead by David Browne. David, great to see you, sir.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you very much. Okay, folks, we are coming back with the founder of the David Horowitz Freedom Center, David Horowitz.